I'm so excited to share with you that I have just completed, and actually still completing because I've gone over a 40-hour fast. So I'm just over my 40-hour fast. I've done a dry fast. First time I've ever done this, she says. First time I've ever done this one. I've managed a 6-hour dry fast before, but never anywhere near 40 hours, and I feel very proud. And so I thought I would take it on myself to talk to you about detoxification, because that's something I know a lot about, something I do really regularly to differing degrees, and I thought it was a good time to talk to you about that as I'm right in the middle of the fast. High spiritual awareness, really good time to do it. So why do people fast? I mean, people have been fasting for millennia. I mean, look at all of the, look at the Bible, look at all the ancient texts. They all advocate fasting, right? Why? They advocate it for health benefits and for spiritual enlightenment. Because I can tell you, after 40 hours of fasting, you feel there's a clarity there. There's a connectedness to source. So you can't necessarily speak, but you can certainly express and feel that connection there. There's a clear thinking that happens. And why does that happen? I mean, why is that a result of a fast? And I'll tell you what's happening in the body is your body usually spends probably 90% of its time on digestion, right? We're snacking, whatever, we're eating. It takes a lot of energy for the body to break down the vitamins and minerals and then transport each of those to where they each need to go. That takes so much of the body's energy, right? Which is why we often don't have enough energy left for immunity and hormonal balance and all the rest of it, right? So what happens when you fast and you take away the food, and in my case, I've taken away the water too, at least if you take away a lot of these things, or we don't also have to do that, and I'll talk about that in a little minute of how you don't have to do it by restrictiveness. You can do it by intake as well as elimination, and either way it has the same effect. But what you do is that your body can then, in this state, your body can then use that energy and use it for healing and repair and restoration. And it can really go in there and say, hey, you know what, that scar, like, I released some mucus. I mean, many moons ago, I used to smoke, and it's like it released old mucus from then. I'm like, wow, this is just in 40 hours. So it just shows exactly what the body can do. It's really, really, really amazing. So, I mean, how often would you do any form of detox? For me, I try and detox 4 times a year. Okay, I do 2 big ones, and that's usually spring and autumn, and that can be anything from 7 to 21 days, depending what my life is looking like and how much time and energy I have to be able to focus on this, because that's what you need to do, is to be able to focus when you do an extreme fast like this. And then I also do smaller fasts during the year in summer and winter, and that's usually about 2-3 days, a bit like this, but I would normally do it with juice fasting, and I always put in herbs, okay? Because herbs, I'll do it in juice fasting, or sometimes, if you don't have the time, you don't have to, you can just use herbs, but I always use them with, being a herbalist, I would. And what would I put in there? So I put in herbs that really help the lymphatic system to flush, okay, to help to like that sludge, I don't know if anyone knows about the lymphatic system, but the lymphatic system only moves when we move it. It's a bit like the peristalsis of the stomach, right? It needs our help, which is why like lymphatic drainage massage is really good for you, exercise, etc. It's why like cutting out a lot of foods that are going to make it sluggish is really going to help. But there's certain herbs like cleavers, for example, are really going to help to clean the lymphatic system. We've got some liver herbs in there too. Dandelion, for one, is absolutely amazing. Burdock, another. It just really helps to flush and cleanse and detoxify. The burdock, for example, will help to detoxify the biggest organ in the body, and I'm going to ask you now, do you know what that is? Beep, 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 beep. That is the skin. And so the skin, and burdock really helps to flush. Arctium lapa helps to flush that. So really important to do something like this 2, 3, 4 times a year, maybe more. See how you feel. Maybe once a week. Depends how you feel. But really important to help your body to give it what it needs in order to do what it's supposed to do. And what the body is supposed to do is heal itself. Believe it or not, that's exactly what the body is here to do, is to heal itself. And it's very simple. It doesn't need much, but it really appreciates you going in with things to help. What it doesn't appreciate with is the backlog that it has to walk through and has to sludge through. So if you do detoxification regularly and you make this as part of your life, then health and longevity is definitely yours for the taking. It's really not that simple. You don't need all of this Botox and stuff like that. You're just going to do it this way. And this is the organic natural way, as is one with the energies around us of nature. Detoxification is a life path. It's a path, it's a way of life. So I invite you to join me on a way of life.